And what has happened here is an example of building Canada strong.
Well, for the first time in 15 years, Winnipeg's New Flyer Industries is building transit buses from start to finish completely here in Canada.
To create more jobs and bolster Manitoba's economy and technology and zero emissions, all three levels of government announced an all-Canadian bus manufacturing facility here in Winnipeg.
For 15 years, a strange and uncomfortable reality defined one corner of Canada's manufacturing economy. Buses built by Canadian workers in a Canadian factory under a Canadian company name still had to cross the border into the United States before they could be finished. The highest value work, the final assembly, the skilled jobs that bring the biggest wages, all of it happened on American soil. But on March 3rd, 2026, something quietly changed in Winnipeg. A bus rolled off an assembly line fully completed without crossing the border, without needing an American factory to finish the job. For the first time in 15 years, a major transit bus was built entirely in Canada from start to finish. And while it may look like just another vehicle leaving a factory floor, analysts say this moment carries a much deeper political meaning. To understand why this matters, we need to look at the system that made this dependency possible in the first place. For decades, American procurement rules, particularly the Buy America regulations, have required that transit vehicles purchased with U.S. pest federal funding meet strict domestic content rules. The policy currently requires at least 70% American-made components and final assembly on U.S. soil. On paper, these rules were designed to protect American manufacturing. In practice, they also shaped how companies across North America organize their supply chains. For Canada's New Flyer Industries, headquartered in Winnipeg and widely recognized as one of the largest heavy-duty bus manufacturers in North America, it meant a complicated production reality. The steel frames and structural work could be done in Winnipeg. The labor-intensive early stages of production stayed in Canada, but the buses still had to be shipped south to U.S. facilities for final assembly in order to qualify for American transit contracts, which remain one of the largest markets for buses anywhere in the world. So, for 15 years, the system created a paradox. Canada owned the brand, the engineering talent, and much of the production capacity. Yet, some of the most valuable parts of the manufacturing process were tied to American soil by regulatory design. Then, the political environment began to shift. Trade tensions between Washington and several partners intensified in 2025, and Canada found itself under growing tariff pressure on a number of exports. At the same time, policymakers in Ottawa started asking a broader question. Not just how to negotiate exemptions, but how to reduce structural dependence on the American market. The result was a relatively modest, but strategically important investment. Governments and industry partners contributed funding, including support from the province of Manitoba and the federal government to help expand production capability in Winnipeg and establish a full domestic assembly line. The numbers themselves may not sound enormous compared with defense or aerospace projects, but the effect could be significant. The project is expected to create roughly 250 direct manufacturing jobs while supporting thousands of existing positions connected to the broader production network. In its first week of operation, the facility began producing buses that were fully completed in Canada for Canadian transit systems. The goal, according to company leadership, is to scale up production gradually with hundreds of fully assembled units targeted each year once the system reaches full capacity. But this story is about more than just buses. It touches on a larger political conversation about economic resilience, supply chains, and the limits of globalization in an era of rising trade disputes. What is clear is that the political climate surrounding global trade is changing, and countries are starting to rethink how much of their economic future should depend on decisions made outside their borders. So, the bigger question now is not just about buses. It is about strategy. When trade rules shift and markets become uncertain, should countries double down on globalization or invest more heavily in building at home? Winnipeg may not answer that question entirely, but it offers a glimpse of what that choice looks like in practice. one production line, one factory, and one finished bus at a time. If you found this analysis valuable and want more breakdowns of global political and economic developments, make sure you stay connected and keep following the conversation. This is Worldwide News. Stay informed.